You wouldn't believe what I've seen from a motorcycle. You wouldn't believe the experiences motorcycles have given me. These motorcycle experiences have shaped my adult life, led me to the most remote corners of the planet, and allowed me to meet the most interesting people. I have this theory about riding motorcycles, the act of which triggers fight or flight instincts. Our brain has no time for depression or anxiety when you're being propelled across the earth beyond your natural running speed. It will instantly erase irrelevant thoughts and heighten your senses for survival. While motorcycling is the most dangerous thing I do, it's also the healthiest thing I do. I've dreamed up some crazy stuff on bikes. But never would I have thought 1 year ago that I'd buy an old bike in Europe, ship it back to Australia, and then ride the old girl across this epic country. $500 and something Ks today, I'm not sure. I've camped up at this little mining town called Marvel Lock. God, it was just so good out there. Pasta is ready. My God. Best way to have a good pasta is with a nice red. Look at that. A goblet of red. Bit of a late start. I don't mind because it's so cold. Just want the sun to heat the place up and give my hands half a chance. But let's see how the Warhorse goes. Fuel pump on, choke on. And that was that place. Camped up next to Bob and Marge. I don't know if their name is Bob and Marge. That's just the code I use for the grey-haired folk trundling along the highway at like 80k an hour in a 100 zone, just living the dream. Uh-oh, just noticed a major drama. The Warhorse speedo drive has stopped working. This is not cool, because now I've lost my whole trip meter. Bugger. She's not turning. You'll see here the worm drive is stripped. I'm not too worried. I've mapped the big girl's fuel range. I know my arrival distances to waypoints. So this whole game in the desert is trimming down those arrival distances to stay inside my overall fuel range. Just filled the 8-litre bladder on the back for this leg. Endless Australia. Red dirt. Welcome to Kukaini, a living ghost town. Check out the boiler. Just imagine driving out here in this old equipment back in the day. Look at that old Ford. Wow. That's a Warhorse, look at it. The landscape is slowly changing. The vegetation is starting to get more sparse, you know, like there's less ground coverage, it's just baked earth and rock. With these spindly, you know, well, but yeah, Central Australia is approaching. You can feel it, you can see it, you can smell it. Look at the size of this legend. That's it, boys, leg it. Emus, so funny. The funniest creatures. Old Laverton Road, huh? Old mate's fairly legging it, whoever it is. He's gonna freak out when the Warhorse goes ripping past. Give old mate a wave, eh? Don't want to crack his windscreen. There you go, it's the brothers. I don't want to crack their windscreen. It's our indigenous friends just getting it done. The Outback isn't just the Outback, it's Aboriginal territory. I'm in the red. I'm down to somewhere around 100 k's left of fuel. But anyway, I'm homing in on Laverton and I'm going to take the opportunity to get some 240 volts and charge the drone. Let's go to a campground. What do we got? Oh, Laverton Caravan Park. Sounds luxurious. Well, let's have it. Go. 11 k's. Might even get a shower in. What do you reckon? Big day. Here we are again, the Warhorse, parked up next to Bob and Marge. They're in there. Marge is probably playing Scrabble. Bob's watching the cricket on his laptop, no doubt. Could well be an argument soon, but no. Gonna take this opportunity to have a shower. It's been 2 full days on the bike now without a shower. And that was that place. Time to give Bob and Marge the wake up. Fuel pump, choke, neutral. We're running Opal fuel now. This is a special fuel developed for the Outback to help combat the petrol sniffing in the indigenous communities. Bit of a problem out here, has been in the past with the kids. Yeah, it just sounds toxic. It's terrible, but it's the way the Aussie government have come up with a solution, and barely smells. It's not potent, like you can smell it, but it's not that super fumey hydrocarbon, you know, normal smell of fuel. And she's 91 octane, so it should be mother's milk for the Warhorse. The Warhorse has never been so loaded up. Warhorse 4. This will put me on the path deep into the nothing. Alice Springs, 1,500 kilometres to go. Shit. I'm pretty much halfway. Maybe. Am I halfway? Yeah. Bit of cow shit. There's bullock on the roads. Yeah, back in 2007 I raced the Australian Safari, and man, what a wild race. And it was probably day 2 or 3 in a special stage on these station tracks, and I don't know, I was wrung out. There wasn't much left. I was on a 450 EXC set up for desert, and 4 cows ran across the road, and luckily there was a gap between the 3rd and 4th cow, and I barely had time to chop the throttle, and I went straight through the gap between these friggin' cows. And man, that's the most dangerous thing about, racing high speed in the desert. When you can see and the tracks are wide left and right, you got a good, window into what might be lurking in the bushes. But when the tracks close up into like a tunnel, just roll off the throttle, just dial it right back. When you get out in the desert like this, there's a certain calm that comes with it. The remoteness goes away, and you only respond to your immediate surroundings. And if there's nothing to freak out about, then don't freak out, just enjoy it, look at it. How this is here, the desert is here doing its thing on the daily. I love it. I'll always love it. Opal fuel, it's clear like water. There's a few more litres to go, but I'll leave that. I'm hungry. Let's see what we got in the pantry. Just gonna settle for a muesli bar. Some poor old creature has walked for days out of habit, coming back here, only to meet its end at a bone-dry trough. This main road's peeling back towards Laverton, and I'm not interested in going back to Laverton. I just blew past this little side track, which I suspect should intercept the Great Central Road. She's just tractoring. This is fairly deep sand. I've got to get out of this rut. I want to get in the middle, but I don't want it to get crossed up either. Choose my window, a moment of opportunity right now. Thank you. Whoa, far out. Okay. We're on track. Still straight lining to the Great Central Road on some unknown, forgotten track. What an epic scenario this is. Deep in the nothing. Whoa, whoa. Just when you get on the gas, you get a rock pile thrown at you. This is a typical Australian safari special stage. But, you know, they're like 250, 300 k's of this, as fast as you can go. Reading, you know, on the fly. It's obviously not one straight track. You got to navigate through all this stuff, but this is the general kind of track that you'd be dealing with. We did it. I feel like Mad Max roaming the wastelands in search of fuel. Well over 100 k's down the Great Central Road now, since I got on it, and I'm yet to see another vehicle. The Bob and Marge Society must have released a bulletin stating that the Great Central Road is in disrepair and to give it a wide berth. Look at Bob and Marge in the Super Tourer. What a weapon. You'll never believe this. I just rolled into Warburton. On the way in, I crossed through this creek bed and saw this dude. I thought he was just like a four-wheel drive dad set up camp. And he gave me the thumbs up, and anyway, so I thought, shit, I'm gonna go back and camp where that guy was. So I'm riding down the road, and he's walking back. I thought, what's this random guy just walking out in the middle of nowhere here? Pull up, and turns out he's a fan of Motology films, and he's the local shire operator of this area. He's a fly-in, fly-out guy, and he's offered me to stay at his house. We can lock the Warhorse up in the cage tonight. He's just out on his run, on his jog, on his circuit, so I didn't catch his name. We'll meet him when he comes back.
I'm Steve anyway, mate.
Yeah, Steve, I never got your name. Adam.
Good to meet you, mate. I know where you are.
So you got an 890, eh?
Yeah.
901. Yeah. There she is, the Warhorse, safe and sound. Yeah, a rough old town. She's wielding that like it's a baseball bat.
Yeah.
I just feel so sorry for these little kids, you know, like they don't know any different.
The values that they have are different to the values that we have.
Yeah,
so,
simple as that.
We're materialistic in a lot of ways, and they're not. You know, they're very family orientated, and you know, you can tell that by the way that they all interact and so forth.
Yeah.
So here's a that's a relic.
Look at it. It's like a dead kangaroo, but oh my god, look guys, this is the reason we came. Steve wanted to show me something. The sad reality. My god. Far out. It's an injected 350 EXC, is it?
I think it's something like that. Yeah, it's either two.
Look at it.
Where the bars have copped it.
Oh, it's just been skull dragged down the road. It's a hard life in the desert, Steve. It really is.
A little bit of maintenance, I reckon you're back on the roads.
Are these just the ones they've bothered to collect off the Great Central Road?
No, these are from the town generally.
No, this is just from the town.
Over a number of years.
It's like a fucking Mad Max movie.
It's a good place.
Oh look, I had that exact Commodore right there. Appreciate it, mate. You're a saint. Thanks for providing the safe house.
No, it's all good, mate.
And no, I wish you well in everything you're doing out here, mate. It's awesome.
You and your family, mate. Good luck for the future, Jim.
I'm sure I'll be in touch down the road at some point. All right, Steve. Until next time, my friend. What do you know? What a sight for sore eyes. It's Bob and Marge. Hopeful.
How long have we gone, boss?
And so it begins. Off into the deep. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop air pressures real soon. She's getting super squirmy. Kinda gotta just hold a decent speed and stay on top of it. A lot of sand and a lot of work. This is gonna test everything, so I've really gotta just go in full conservation mode now. I'd like to think I've got the fuel to get through it all. These boggy patches and holes come up on you real quick. I don't want that arse end wobbling around with all that fuel. This will be the most remote, isolated, call it what you want, I think I'll have ever been on a motorcycle in my life. So if you can relax your mind, it lets you focus more and enjoy where you are. But the other thing, the bike works so much better in the sand. If I just trust the Warhorse and don't death grip the bars and freak out as soon as she starts to wander, you end up in this zen-like state with her and just sort of float through the sand. Her chassis is made for this, and she's proving that to me right now. not gonna lie, had my heart in my mouth a couple of times on that big sand road coming out here, and it sort of spooked me a bit knowing that I've have to commit to like 200 odd Ks of this, but as I mentioned back there, just got to accept where I am, relax my mind, trust the Warhorse, relax into the sand and just plod away. And I'm really starting to enjoy it now. She's performing admirably, and it's gonna be even better shifting this weight from there to here, balance her out even more. Still got a long way to go, and just stay focused and get it done. Ah, that's better already. Warhorse is starting to feel like a CRF750. I think she's got the same horsepower as a CRF750, but I'd like to think she's got a lot more torque. Plenty of torque in the Warhorse. Such a diesel of a twin. Right, where were we? That's right, the Sandy Blight Trail. Yeah. Just got to relax into it. Well, this is it, Western Australia. In 600 metres, we're crossing into the Northern Territory. Look at it, it's so on the money. The state border. Laid in from star observations by Len Beadle, Sandy Blight Junction. Alice Springs, 380 miles. Wow. Gun Barrel Road Construction Party, Len Beadle, 10th of June 1960. What a legend. The stuff of legend. Alright, let's go find somewhere to camp in the Northern Territory. Righto, big dog. Down here for a second. I tell you what, it's a good feeling just living independently off a motorcycle. Just waking up in the desert, packing your stuff, and seeing where the day takes you. 45 k's to Kintor, and yeah, even though it's a remote Aboriginal community, it's a good feeling to be homing back in on civilization. Only for the sake of fuel, Otherwise, it's just the place to be out here. I've not seen a soul for this whole section. And that's a flat tire. Yep. Hopefully I'm welcome here. Pretty vulnerable. Oh, I got a wave from the young fella. That's a good start. Bit going on in Kintour. I figure I'll be right parked up next to the cop car. Oops. They just rolled in. I ain't phased about much, so I'm not phased either. Right. I think when it's all said and done, good people recognise good people. And regardless of our skin colour, respect is worthy of respect.
What a setup.
And when you roll out of the desert as a weary nomad in need of shade and a bit of R&R, our fellow nomads will always grant us right of passage. And to you, my mighty warhorse, you are everything the world knows you to be. You truly are the queen of the desert. Okay, so here's the deal. You're probably thinking that I've, been on it, been in a bit of a rush. Well, I am actually working to a schedule. I want to get to Alice Springs today because my good friend Ben Grabham is flying in and he's going to ride the second chapter of this journey with me. Grabbo needs no introduction for my Australian audience, but for the rest of the world, this guy is one of the most decorated off-road racers to ever come out of Australia. He's won the Fig Desert Race 4 times. He's won the Australian Safari a couple of times. He's just had multiple national off-road titles, A4D champion a couple of times. He's, flat track titles. He is like the ultimate motorcycle racer. But all that aside, I started to hang out with him a bit, ride with him, train with him. We've been on adventures, all this stuff over the years. But he has been supportive of my YouTube channel from the word go. We've made all these videos together. He's a prime candidate for Moto Nomad, but he's never been able to take the time away to do it. And so, yeah, this is it, our first big adventure together, and he's so excited.
Here he is. The Desert King has touched out in Alice once again. We both made it, mate. Grabbo, meet the Warhorse, mate. She sure is a beast. Got it done.